What's up, everybody, from the AT&T 5G virtual studios? Welcome to Group Chat, presented by AT&T 5G. I am Susannah Collins, alongside my dude, Steven Keel. MLS is back. Buddy, how excited are you feeling right now?
Give it to me. Susannah, over 4 months without MLS, it is back. Not tomorrow, not next week. It is back tonight. I am ready. I am jacked. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And this is our first episode of this show, Group Chat, presented by AT&T 5G. And so the whole concept of this show, you guys, is literally your group chats. We're all in them. I'm in about 10, especially over the past year. And it's a way for us to kind of just banter, interact. We're going to do some game previews for the weekend, but also just, kind of hit on some fun soccer stuff. But the whole point is that we want to hear from you. So in that vein, Steven, we have a group chat hotline. A hotline that you guys can hit us up on. You can text us 401-206-0MLS. And of course, you can reach us on our individual Twitter handles at Susannah Collins. Are you just Steven Keel? Is that what's your
Steven Keel
handle,
22? You got
Steven Keel 22.
You got to throw that number in there.
22.
Throw that number in there.
The double deuce.
Yo, but I'll tell you what, I've never had a hotline. I used to call into radio station hotlines when I was younger, but this I feel is different. So if people use the hotline just so we can say we got a hotline and it's active.
I know.
But
that's legit.
But listen, anything people want to talk about, their clubs, their favorite players, star players, teams they don't like, we can eat in typical group chat fashion. You can go down one path, but we're probably quickly gonna veer off, which is great. We embrace that. If you want to talk fashion, love fashion. We want to talk coaches, talk coaches. You want to talk TV shows?
Everything's on board.
We can handle that. Everything.
Yes. Nothing off limits. We want to hear from you. So good. So we said it at the top of the show. MLS is back, y'all. Tonight, we have 2 games on tap for you. Houston taking on San Jose at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. That kicks off the entire season, and then followed up by a great one, Seattle against Minnesota, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1. This is a rematch of the Western Conference Finals from last year, and that game was fire.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
so good.
2-0 for Minnesota, and then in the 75th minute, Seattle comes back, 3 goals unanswered. Boom. They find themselves in another Western Conference final. But I'm excited for that game. I'm excited to see Seattle, obviously. Excited to see what the Loons got, what Adrian Heath's team is. Bebeto Reynoso, he was fire last year when he came in, giving out assists for free. You get an assist. You get an assist. Everyone gets an assist. But I'm excited to watch him play. I'm just excited that soccer, MLS is back tonight. Both games should be very fun.
Very fun. And to preview that Houston-San Jose matchup a little bit more, we caught up with Zarek Valentin of the Houston Dynamo. So we're going to play that interview for you later on in the show. You don't want to miss it, so stick around for that. Again, guys, hit us up on that hotline, 401-206-0MLS. I just like saying it, so I'm going to keep, you're going to keep hearing me plug that because I feel really cool.
I love it.
Let's get to question of the week, Steven Keel.
Okay.
MLS tweeted this out earlier this week. They wanted to know your bold predictions for the 2021 MLS season. And here are some of the responses that we got. We're going to take a look at these and judge away, because this is what group chat is all about.
Listen, we asked for bold prediction. Bold being the key word. Give us something. Maybe a little far-fetched, but yet attainable. So I'm interested to see what people said. There's a lot of the internet. People, we're just, there we go.
There we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, Jeffrey Nesker says, Josie Altidore silences his critics and naysayers again and puts up double-digit goals and triple-digit minutes and gives us 2-3 more memes for the culture. I like that one. I don't know if I agree with Jeffrey. I'm always a little concerned about the Josie injuries. I want to see a healthy Josie. I want to see him bag a ton of goals this year, but I get nervous, Steven Keel.
Yeah, well, listen, we know when Josie's healthy, fit, the dude scores goals. He scores a goal once, less than every 2 games at an incredible rate. So I feel there's something in me. I think we see an extra motivated Josie this year. I think we're going to see some goals tick in for him and TFC.
All right, let's see. Jocked 07.
Jocked.
What's up, Jocked 07? He said Timbers win Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, and go to Club World Cup. You wanted both? There you have it. I don't hate this at all because I do think Portland is going to be incredibly strong this year, especially with the return of Sebastian Blanco coming off that knee injury. He was having an MVP caliber season last year before he got injured. So I don't hate this at all.
I like it. I think some sort of trophy is headed to Portland. Which one remains to be seen. But Club World Cup, look, Tigres made it all the way to the Club World Cup final last year from CONCACAF. Why can't this be the year that an MLS team wins CONCACAF Champions League, goes on to the Club World Cup, and is champions of the world?
Champions of the whole dang world.
We'll see. But I'm with you. I do like Portland this year a lot for the reasons you stated. I think that championship is headed their way. What's Luke got for us?
Look at Luke. This is just God. Okay, new friends are made and everyone has fun playing soccer. Luke is who? Okay, Luke is that guy in the group chat that is like, guys, why are we? You know what? Let's just focus on the positive. It's a beautiful day. He brings everyone up. We love you, Luke. This is beautiful.
Right, Luke. I love this.
Thank you.
This energy. You're right. It's the let's we're all friends. We all love playing soccer. Let's just all let's combine those two things, and life is great. So, but he's a Crew fan, so he's a reigning MLS Cup champion, so he has a lot of reasons to be happy. So, but Jim Jordan's jacket. There's a good one. He's gonna get back to the stadium for some live soccer.
Oh. Amen to that. That's you know what, this one just makes me so happy because it is going to be really incredible to see fans back in stadiums, Stephen.
I cannot wait for it. I know the players can't wait as well. Here I can assume JD is obviously a Quakes fan to the core. K-Cal outscores Chicharito. Listen, K-Cal, I think the talent, the ceiling is so high. The 17-year-old came on the scene last year. The sky's the limit for him. For me, I think a lot of people maybe doubting Chicharito. I, however, expecting a big year from him. That the talent speaks for himself. All-time leading goal scorer from the Mexican national team. He shows he can put the ball in the back of the net. You listen to him speak to him, the dude is extra motivated. So you take someone that's very talented and extra motivation. That's a good combination right there.
Yeah. I think anytime a guy like that with as much talent that he has, that we know that he has, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove, that can be a very, very dangerous combination. So, yeah, I fully expect to see something special from Chicharito this season. Okay. Ooh, Brian. Pato becomes the highest scorer this season. Why not? Why not?
I think you can make a case for this, right? He is a world-class player. His quality speaks for himself. Look at the players around him. You got Cash Mueller, you got Nani, you got Mauricio Pereira back there. So there's the quality. He's going to get his opportunities. We've seen that he can put the ball in the back of the net. So, I'm okay tossing his name in there. Why not? Yeah. Plus, we spoke to him on Instagram Live during this week, and the dude is like the nicest, coolest dude. So he's one of those guys that you just want to root for. So I can co-sign on this a little bit.
I'm into it. All right, let's get into in my mentions. Now this could get a little scary. We don't know where this is going because, as we know, sometimes things get weird in those mentions. But this week, Stephen Keel, in my mentions. So on the podcast, The Call Up, that I host with Julian Sakovitz, wink, check it out. Thank you very much. Little plug there. We have basically dubbed ourselves the official fashion police of Major League Soccer. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
But we did a power rankings. I know. Listen, self-proclaimed. We did a power rankings of our top 10 best dressed MLS coaches. Okay. This is very serious content.
Super serious. Ooh.
And so we put this list out, and my mentions have been people have very strong thoughts about who they believe is the best dressed coach. So my pick for best dressed coach was Luchi Gonzalez of FC Dallas, because obviously the guy has swagger for days. He's incredible, right? And like, we gave him our first ever Golden Hanger Award last year on the call up. Like, we named him, and then I just want to show you this.
Do we have visual?
FC Dallas sent me a signed poster. This is a signed poster of Luchi Gonzalez that says,
"Wow,
to the call up with love and laughs, Luchi." And look at him. Look at this ensemble. I mean, like, how could you not? He looks incredible. So Luchi was my number one. I had Jim Curtin at number 2 and Gio Savarese at 3. But people were like, Jim Curtin dresses like a math teacher, you know, like the strong opinions. Yeah. And then people telling me I disrespected Peter Vermees and that Mark Dos Santos deserved a shout and all of this. So it got heated in there, but I kind of liked it. It's fun. It's good. It's real good banter.
We love people being passionate about their coaches and their attire. I know Luchi. We were teammates in Colorado and roommates on the road, and his style he's always had style. Being a Florida native, he maybe came to training a couple times with a pretty deep V cut shirt. But he was always well dressed. He was always well dressed, and he loves to dance, which goes without saying. So I like that. I like that shout. And I think with Luchi, his style, he can rock a suit. He can do a cardigan. Oh, he can do a nice little polo, and anyone
that can pull off the like oversized chunky cardigan, like, and make it just look like extra swag. Like, you've got it, man. Like, I bow down to Luchi.
Well done. So yeah,
thank you.
Power rankings, Luchi at top. I can see where people hit it. So in my mentions this week,
yes,
and this occasionally happens, probably more often than not, is Empire SC, Empire Sports Group, for the New York Red Bulls, tweeted out a picture that says, "Great to see Stephen Keel back on the field." That is Tom Barlow with the luscious locks just flowing, which is awesome to see. Great. So always love a good shout. And I feel like this kind of happens maybe more times than not. Is there's a lot of oh, that's Stephen Keel, and it's not really me, it's just someone with long hair. I've had anytime David Luiz is on, that's a good shout.
Yeah. Yep.
Peter Frampton, rock star, love it. There's an occasional.
I'd run with that one, for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if for the younger folks, maybe Google him. And then there's obviously like Sideshow Bob, kind of go down that route. But either way. But these are all I love these mentions.
Sideshow Bob, that's rude.
I know, right?
It's so rude.
I know. Maybe I think that was more of like when opposing fans would, you were kind of warming up and they would have things to say. But fair. That's just kind of, in my mention. So yeah, Tom Barlow, like what you're doing, bro.
Either way, you both have wonderful heads of hair. So it's a compliment. It's a compliment both ways, Stephen Keel. That's how I see it.
I'll take it.
That's how I see it. I love it. All right, it is time to do a little match preview. How do you feel about this, Stephen Keel? Because we've got some pretty awesome matchups to look forward to this weekend, and I'm going to start this one off, okay? Because we have LAFC taking on the MLS newcomers in Austin FC on April 17th. That's Saturday, 6 p.m. on Fox. There are so many storylines to watch in this one. It's kind of like, obviously Austin being the new team. So everyone's just curious to see how this team actually looks. Josh Wolf, this is his first head coaching job. They've got some great pieces on there. Alexander Ring just named the captain. We saw what he could do with NYCFC. So there's some great storylines there in itself. And then LAFC, right? Okay. So many of our colleagues have picked them to win the whole darn thing. A lot of people talking about Carlos Vela winning Golden Boot, winning MLS MVP. And again, kind of like Chicharito, like he's a guy I feel like who has something to prove this year because he missed quite a bit of last season. So there's like, can LAFC finally win MLS Cup? And on top of all of that, can we talk about the owners of these
That's
two
what
teams?
I wanted. Yes, I was waiting for it.
That, I know, exactly. It's like, okay, cool, soccer, cool, on the field, cool. But we've got Matthew McConaughey, who is one of the owners of Austin FC, and now the Minister of Culture. That is a thing, apparently, at Austin FC, which, like, I'm here for. I think that's great. And then, obviously, like, the Will Ferrell situation. And I don't know if you caught this week, Steven, but Matthew McConaughey did a press conference this week, kind of like, this like opening week, like kickoff thing. And he was rocking. Number one, I don't know where he was. Like, it looked like he might have been in a garage, maybe in a van. I don't know. But he
like a Winnebago, right?
Exactly. Like in his Airstream. I don't know. But he had like long hair. He had this long curly hair. And then like the tinted, straight up like 70s sunglasses on. And he looked like a character that Will Ferrell would play. Like, it was just, it was amazing. It was just kind of like, what is going on? What is happening?
He is awesome. And you listen to the way he speaks, and you just like can't stop listening. Like, I feel like he's the guy you could go grab a beer with, and he could tell you, how leaves fall off trees, and you would be like glued to the conversation, being like, no way. But Susan, I got a question for you. I do have a question. Speaking of owners, a brand new Will Ferrell movie comes out at the same time a brand new Matthew McConaughey film comes out. Which are you seeing?
I'm going Will Ferrell. I'm sorry. I know. Maybe, you know what? Maybe like younger Susannah might have done the whole McConaughey thing, but like I love to laugh, man. That's and Will Ferrell for me is just, the dude is hysterical. He's so freaking funny. I got to interview him after an LAFC match last year, or 2 seasons ago. Obviously not last year. We weren't at matches 2 seasons ago. And he was just like on the field after the game. And I was like, I'm just going to ask him if I can interview him. And it was just the most, like, he was so fun and so engaging, really smart too. Like, he was like talking soccer, but he's so funny. He's just like but he's a guy who can't help but being so funny. It was one of the highlights of my life.
I can imagine.
So yeah, I pick Will Ferrell all day.
Okay. I respect that. I think I may lean towards Matthew McConaughey. Matthew, for the reasons I've stated earlier.
He keeps it keeps you on your toes. You don't know what you're going to get from him, because he can play a variety of different characters. So that's true.
He is stellar, almost interstellar in the way he does what he does. I don't know, I just had to throw that in there. Anyways, okay, should we bring it back to soccer talk? Let's bring it back. I love this. This
game, is what group chat.
LAFC.
This is
boom, 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 boom. We were talking. We started Carlos Vela. Next thing you know, we're talking Interstellar. But for my game, I'm so pumped that I pump it into my veins. Give it to me. Orlando hosting Atlanta United. Rivalry game, week 1. The schedule makers are good to us, Susannah. They are good to us. This, like you said, there's so many storylines. Probably none bigger than Joseph Martinez returning to play against the team he loves to play, or like how he likes to phrase it, the father is back in one of his press conferences, which Daddy is home, which I can only imagine the rage that Orlando fans have when he says that. But he has the guy he scored 7 goals in the 6 games he's played against Orlando. It's never lost to him. So I can see where he comes from that. But that being said, this Orlando team, Oscar Pereira's 2nd season with them. Big fan. I play for Oscar. I'm a big fan of what he does. He's a winner. He knows how to win. He knows how to get the best out of his team. I think we're going to see even a bigger leap forward from year 1 to year 2 with this Orlando team. But either way, this game, neither team really likes each other. Both fan bases don't like each other. There is going to be fireworks on the field, and big expectations for both teams to do something special this year.
I agree. I think this is it's a very different Orlando team, right? Like we talked about it so much last year about what Oscar Pereira was able to do with that group, and I think I have them finishing 2nd in the East. Like they are a legit contender for me. So Joseph Martinez I know he has owned them in the past, but like I feel like you haven't owned this Orlando team yet. So it's almost like wiping the slate clean right now. You know, it's like let's see how this goes. So it's gonna be great. Also, we saw Nani rocking like the purple hair last year.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what him and Joseph are going to come out with, because you know it's going to be big and bold.
They always keep it fresh up there. I like that.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. I respect it so much. All right, Keel, time for our 5 good things. And we did that like 5G good.
Yeah.
Good to see what we did there. Listen, we are all kinds of clever. What's our first 5 good thing? CCL, baby. We are 5 for 5. MLS is 5 for 5. They all advance to the round of 16. Is this the year, Stephen Keel, that an MLS team is going to win CCL?
You didn't. I didn't give my bold prediction. But if I were to make a bold prediction, I would say yes. I feel like this is the year. Just somehow, some way, MLS wins CCL. But like you said, 5 teams, 5 wins, on to the quarterfinals. All the wins were impressive in their own right. From Atlanta going down a man, getting a win in Costa Rica. Toronto knocking off reigning Liga MX champion Lyon. But I think, while it's time to celebrate, it's almost like after a big win, you got about 24 to 48 hours, and then you got to turn it around because the games keep coming. And I think it's people will point out the competition's about to get a lot more difficult. Cruz Azul, Club America, Monterrey, those 3 teams also advanced. So this is when the true test. But listen, right now, we're still in that 24-hour party period, so I'm gonna keep the positive vibes going. But it's a 5 for 5. But big tests lie ahead.
I always give the guys on Extra Time such a hard time because they get they get CCL fever, as they call it, and I'm like, I've never jumped on that train. I've never done it, and like this year I was like, well, maybe this is the year that Susannah catches that fever. Let's go. Show me something.
It's a little warm.
Let's go.
Feel a little flush.
A little hot under the collar there. All right, next up, our next good thing. This just speaks to my heart. So, St. Louis City FC. Okay, a few weeks ago they announced a new partnership with Purina, and to kind of celebrate this new partnership, they have decked out a van. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Dumb and Dumber, but it happens to literally be probably my most watched movie, probably my favorite movie of all time, if I'm being completely honest. It's a classic. I quote it every day. So there is the Mutt Cuts truck, and they literally decked out a van like a dog, and they've been driving around the city and like giving out swag, but letting people hold like puppies, and it is just, I could not be more here for this. This just gives me all the feels for so many reasons. And this the shout to Dumb and Dumber, like who came up with this? Because you're a genius. I'm
because you
literally obsessed.
Well, you can't triple stamp a double stamp, just so everyone is aware. But I applaud and respect. You just can't do that. I love that are thinking creatively, but like you said, you take an iconic movie, you put puppies in there. Whatever you're selling, I'm buying. I don't even know what it is. I don't even have a dog, but I'll buy some dog food. Like, I'm into it. This is fantastic.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Sorry, I just can't. Had to throw that in there. Anyway, well done, St. Louis. Love what you're doing. Can't wait to see more. Okay, this one is great. Next one, Wando, absolute legend, as we know, all-time leading goal scorer in MLS. He got his own street named after him, Wando Way. Wando Way at the stadium. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's forever. You're now like cemented in history. Like, this is that's amazing.
I know. I'm kind of well. Let me ask you. I think I know. Is it cooler or more iconic to get a street or a statue named after. Listen, if you, I think, or maybe does the statue come once you're done playing? Is that how this works?
I don't know. I feel like streets though, like that is forever. You're on like Google Maps. You're there. Like you are literally part of the fabric of a city. And that is, a statue can always be, birds can poop on statues. Yeah. Things can happen. I don't know. I think I'd go with the street if I'm being honest. Also, we saw what happened with, remember that Ronaldo debacle? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Sometimes you need a
Sometimes
good statue maker to make sure, you got to make sure everything is done correctly. That was a good question. I thought when I was thinking about this, I was like, I would for sure take a statue, but now I'm kind of like, wow, a street would be pretty cool though, right? Like how many times are you going to be in people's like regular connect, like, hey, you take a ride on Wando Way, and it's like, that's me. That's what I'm named after. So I like that. But listen,
I'm Wando.
That's me. But rightfully so. This guy is, you can't say enough great things about him. And he's back for another year. Yo, keep that goal total. Pump it up. We love Wando. Just amazing things to say about him. Well deserved. The dude, if anyone deserves a street named after him, it's him.
I'll pour one out on Wando Way next time I'm in San Jose. All right, next up. Oh, this one hits near and dear to our hearts, Stephen Keel, because two of our MLS gamers are doing big things on a global scale. Both Kid Mamito and George Adamu. George Adamu was last year's EMLS Cup winner. Kid Mamito won it in the very first year in 2018. And they're just killing it in the Xbox and PS4 FIFA Global Series qualifiers. They both won. So this is great because these are our, they're part of us. You and I were like the OGs.
That's what we were part of EMLS from the beginning. Listen, but you love to see this. George come onto the scene last year with the Red Bulls, 2 trophies, 2 years so far. Kim Amito he was one of the originals. So you love to see these guys repping Chicago Fire with Kim Amito. But now they qualify for the North American playoffs. And hopefully if things go well there, fingers crossed, they could go on to the E World Cup. But listen, round of applause, Kim Amito, George Adamu. Well played, fellas. Best of luck as you guys move forward. But we'd love to see this.
Love to see it. We love our EMLS guys. All right, last one. Our last good thing. And this is crazy good. Have you checked out these hashtags for all the MLS teams? They are, and I love the little tiny graphic that goes along with them. I think these are so cool. Do you have a favorite picked out?
Obviously I'm a little partial from Colorado. I love when I see the sea. It just speaks to my soul. Philadelphia's is that a snake around a lightning bolt?
I love it. It's what it looks like. It's really tiny. It's hard to see, but Dupe is classic, right? Like the hashtag Dupe. It's just so strong, right? I think Phillies is right up there for me.
Dupe, 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 Dupe. Anyway, that song gets stuck in my hair. But I love these. And if people want to go check it out, it's pinned. It's go to MLS on Twitter. It's at the top. You can see your club. Use it more, and then keep using it because these are fresh.
They are super fresh. I love these. Speaking of fresh, speaking of good things, you and I had a chance to catch up with one of our faves. He's one of the best dudes in MLS, defender for the Houston Dynamo, Zarek Valentin. He gave us a little preview of tonight's matchup, and we just talked about life in general. Here it is. Time now for AT&T 5G call to the field, and we could not be more excited to bring in one of our faves, defender for the Houston Dynamo, Zarek Valentin. So it's great to see you. It's like we're catching up with friends right now, right?
No, it's great to see you guys as well. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, Bro, this is exciting.
I like what we're doing. We're pulling it back. We're pulling it back on top, dude.
Yeah, I used to, as a defender, used to give guys slack with the old bun, and I've become everything. You either live long enough to see yourself become the villain or the hero, something like that. As a Batman, it's not good.
I have completely changed my tune on man buns. I hated them
Really?
when they first started appearing, and I was like, ew, gross. Like that's such a terrible look. And now I'm like, nah, I dig it. I don't know. I think quarantine is like completely messed up my brain, but it's like
everyone with quarantine has not been able to see a barber. So the amount of just long hair, facial hair, everything. So everyone's just kind of giving it a go. And then it's become, I think, a little bit more normalized because people can justify not seeing a barber or getting your haircut.
It's called laziness.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much.
Did your wife cut your hair at all?
Yes.
So did mine. So don't it happens. Listen, you got to do what you got to do, right?
Y'all are brave.
It was a great haircut. really made me look ready for work.
You guys are seriously brave. I would never even attempt.
No?
No, God, no. My boyfriend he wanted me to like shave like the neck back here, and I was shaking. Like I was like, something's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna one false movement, it's gonna like. And he was like, it's really no big deal, and I was like, I can't. It was horrible. Horrible.
With a guy, you can just cut it off. You can just shave it. Worst case, right? Let's say something happens, like it's gone. Yeah. So that's always a nice little out we have.
Bald wouldn't be his best look. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Love him, but I gotta call it like I see it.
I love it.
Oh man. Okay, so Zarek, the season is literally starting, and you guys, the Houston Dynamo, are kicking things off. The first match of the 2021 MLS season. No pressure. You're just kind of setting the stage for the whole thing, NBD. But just how excited are you? How excited are you to like get back to games that matter after what was such a weird, wacky 2020?
Yeah, I think I was telling someone recently, it's almost more anticipation than previous years because of the extended preseason, because of the fact we pushed the season back, once or twice. It's been, we're used to January 20th start date. Now it was March 1st or something like that. So it's about damn time. Let's just say that. I think a lot of MLS fans are ready for it. And to be fair, the Champions League game has been fantastic. So to see all the MLS teams succeeding in that, which is great. And hopefully we can continue that momentum. I know that every game against San Jose is always a fun one. So hopefully it's a little bit more fun for us this time now.
And you speak about fun. I think one of the fun aspects is that there'll be fans in the stands. Sold out game, obviously limited capacity. I think the capping it at 30%, about 6,500 people in the stands. But fans, nonetheless. Listen, I think the last time you all played in front of fans was your last 2020 home opener against the Galaxy.
Yep.
So I mean, a whole year without fans in the stands, which is just mind-boggling. I mean, I guess what are you gonna feel when you go out there and there's people in the stadium watching?
People there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I got to Houston at the beginning of last year and was just ready for it. Played the Galaxy, sold out, beautiful, amazing. And then just like that, everything happened. And then you're sitting there playing games in front of no fans. You're watching Champions League games in front of no fans. And it was really disappointing, but just to have, even for a few preseason games, we played in Austin and their supporters are there. Mm-hmm. And then they're giving us some slack. And then you see Julian Gressel tweeting about Red Bulls fans and stuff like that. And that's what makes it special, mm-hmm. right? It's cool to play the game, but to play in front of supporters, to bring them joy doing what we do, that's just what it's all about. So to have that back in limited capacity is great. And I cannot wait till hopefully later in the year we can keep opening up and we'll go slowly back to normal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about the play on the field. Zarek, give us a scouting report for the Houston Dynamo in 2021. What can we expect from this team?
Can't give away too much. I think you'll expect a team that's, I would say, a little bit more together in terms of the system that we're trying to play. Tab came in last year, and then basically you, as a new coach, you inherit teams. And as a national team coach, you're allowed to bring in 20 guys, 23 guys, and literally handpick each position, build your team. Sounds easy. I should be a coach.
Hired.
But obviously with a professional team, you inherit a team and players that were built and brought in for different systems. So we had growing pains last year with Tab's system, which, is inevitable. We were not happy with the way things ended, with the way a lot of games went. There was definitely some positives to take, but ultimately you can't finish in last place and be happy. So going forward, there's a chip on our shoulder because of some of the power rankings that have come out in MLS and because of a few individuals that have picked us to be in certain spots. So it's great. We use all the motivation possible to go in and try to prove people wrong. But like I said, we've added some pieces to the puzzle. We've added some MLS experience, some veterans in the league, and some guys that have international experience. And I'm excited to see us grow and to put it together on the field.
For the record, Zarek, I just want you to know that despite Houston's positioning in my power rankings, I feel like I've just put you guys in the best position to surprise everyone. You know, the only way to go is up.
You're 3 steps ahead of everybody else. And I appreciate
next
that.
level. And Susannah, we'll bring the conversation back to on the field and away from your power rankings. You speak about those new pieces. Obviously, a lot of players out, a lot of new players Tab's brought in. Tim Parker, Maxi Rudy. For you, I know a lot of these guys a lot of them are MLS veterans. Is there anyone that's this preseason that's kind of surprised you? You're like, I knew they were good, but dang, they are real good.
I mean, it's tough to pick one, to be completely honest. There's been an influx of new players, and in a lot of our games we've played with 5, 6, 7 different starters almost a lot of times, and it's been fun to see a lot of people grow. And I've been, I heard a lot about Maxi Rudy in Portland because he was there for a few years before I got there, and then everyone spoke about him. So to spend time with him, to see the quality in the attacking third, and then obviously you have, I've been. My center back partnership has changed. Now I got Tim Parker next to me, and to see someone that's built like Saquon Barkley next to you is pretty entertaining. Even though he needs to put a bottle of sunscreen on before every single training session, he's got a great balance to bring. And then there's some sneaky good pickups in there. I'm excited to see Derek Jones evolve as a player, one of these young guys that was with the 20s. And, I can name every single player, and I've had, a lot of good relationships with them. But I'm just excited to see everyone put it together and to gel as a team and to show MLS what we got.
This is amazing. Saquon
oh my
Barkley.
gosh, that's awesome.
Absolutely dead. All right, Zarek. So the name of this show. This is our first episode, by the way. You are the inaugural guest. This is very exciting. So it's called Group Chat, right? This is the Group Chat, and I'm in about like 9 or 10 different group chats, like over various, like either like on phone or Instagram. Like there's all these different, and especially over the last year, like the group chats have just been going bananas, right? This is kind of how we all. Yeah, exactly. Like this is how we stay connected. So like, what's your group chat game like? How many are you in? What's your style? Are you a frequent contributor, or do you just kind of like more observe?
My wife is. This is a sensitive subject, but there's one that's as you could probably imagine. My biggest group chat is about what?
Being a dad.
Shoes. Releases.
Boom.
So it's always Twitter and Instagram. I have basically one group I chat with, and there's a group. There's one on Instagram, and it's the same exact group on just through text. And basically through Instagram, we'll see a post, send it. What do you think? Thoughts, and everyone immediately downloads their thoughts. And then a lot of times it's always trying to figure out what certain people are wearing in certain occasions. A lot of NBA walk-ins. But the one that really kind of took off was coaches on the sidelines has become a thing, which is pretty cool. And I actually had a little chat with Jim Curtin in the bubble.
Oh my God, his shoe game is fire.
It's incredible.
Fire.
So he's a PA guy, and just talking a little bit, but just coming in with some low top Jordans, and then he's got some Yeezys on. And I'm sitting there going like, this is fantastic, because with the tracksuit you can kind of expand a little bit. Right? If you wear a suit, you don't really put you can wear certain shoes with it, but he goes with a tracksuit look, a good every other game almost, and then he kind of subtly put something in there to the point where I'm talking to the Cooligans about what people are wearing and everything like that. So for me, the group chats are pretty much just kind of about kicks and then just family stuff here and there.
Now, are you an active participant? I feel like sometimes I can like group chats because like you look away for an hour and you have like there's 90 responses and you get overwhelmed. Now, are you an active like participant, or are you kind of like you pop in, you drop it, and you're out?
Yeah. There's not a lot of pop, lock, and dropping in the Valentin app, but I would say that it depends on the time of day. If I'm with my son, then probably not much activity in there, and I'll look and I'll see 36 messages. And you're like, oh my goodness. But if it's later in the night, then I can kind of fire off my thoughts and a lot of that. But it's nice because usually one person is always just kind of ready. Like their fingers are twitching. then you see the message pop up and you're like, yes, thank you, I got something here. So for me, it just kind of depends on the time of day. What about you guys?
I struggle because I have the one that I'm like most active in. It's actually very funny. It's with Kaylin Carr, Heath Pierce, and Brendan Hannon, who used to work for the LA Galaxy.
That's a rough group.
That is a very
but most of those guys are based on the West Coast. And so like they get going and I'm like, I'm in bed, my phone starts like buzzing and I'm in bed. So it's like the time difference gets really like hard for me to manage sometimes. And I'm like, dude, like, and then I'm like, oh no, I want to be part of it. I feel you like total FOMO. And so I'm like staying up in bed, like one eye open, texting these dudes. But yeah, that's it is, you know what? It's a lot of, you're so right, Zarek, you hit the nail on the head. Like it is a lot of kind of like observing things on social media and judging them and then sending immediately.
It's nice because you can bounce off. Like you need verification on your feelings towards a certain subject. Like this is a terrible view, or this person's spot on. You want your hype people, right? And that's usually your hype man. So it's like, please agree with me. How bad is this take? Why is Keith or why is Matt Doyle saying this? And then you basically say like, oh, it makes sense or cool. So like, but it's nice to kind of have that validation in the group chat. And again, as Steven knows Heath pretty well, so we feel bad for you on that one. He's my roommate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's wild.
HP3.
He comes up with some out there stuff. On the flip side of this, like, do you ever think like, oh my God, is somebody sending my messages in a group chat being like, yo, did you see what Susannah posted? Like, this girl is crazy. Like honestly, like all of a sudden I'm like, oh God, really self-aware. It's a dark hole sometimes.
I assume it happens to me. So I just imagine someone's doing it.
Oh, now, do you drop emojis? You a big emoji guy? we go down.
No, I'm a GIF guy. I'm a GIF guy.
Yes.
I got a few saved on my phone.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite one? What's your most used GIF?
I'm a huge Seinfeld guy, and my most used one is the where they have it where I can't explain it because this is a PG show, but Jerry and Elaine have a bet. And Elaine,
I know what bet you're referring to.
Elaine keeps having to pay Jerry for the bet, and there's a GIF where he has a cigar in his mouth, and he sits back, and he kind of is nodding in approval. So for me, I have it saved. It's in there already. Just immediately like, yeah. And a lot of times it's shoes. They'll send a good-looking shoe, and then you get the GIF, and it's immediately a good sign of approval. Exactly.
That's amazing. I love that. So good. So good. All right. Something that you and Keel have in common. I just learned this actually. So you both have adorable sons, Cruz and Cam, who were born one day apart.
We found that out last year.
Yeah.
That's what the synergy here is absolutely beautiful. Like what is Zarek like as a dad? How would you characterize yourself as a dad and living that dad life?
As a dad, I try to be active. So it's very easy at times to get tired as a dad, and you could throw on Cars, or my son's in love with Mater from Cars, or just trucks in general. But I try to be active and play and take him outside and do things like that, because I just know that with technology, it's really easy to kind of just be able to chuck them and kind of relax, because we all work jobs and we get tired, and that's okay. But I try to consistently be influencing him in a way in which we're doing stuff and we're outside and we're running around and we're playing ball or this or that. So I don't know about you, Steven, but at times you have to kind of push through your I would say the Z's a little bit. And try to be an active dad. What about you though?
My little guy is, I think, the same as Cam. Is he wants to go. He wants to run and he wants to be outside and pick up sticks and just go. So it's easy just to put on a show, and he'll obviously watch that if it's there, but we try to get him outside as much as possible, and let him run. So, but it's like a balance of like letting him go, because he's still learning to walk and run. So every now and again he takes a little spill, but he brushes it off pretty well. But I'm curious with Cam, and I have a question, a little bit of story is, I play with a guy, the Red Bulls, Greg Sutton, who I think you were teammates with in Montreal. Great, awesome dude, veteran goalkeeper. And we had a game with the Red Bulls. We were playing in Vancouver, and we were roommates. And he, he's like asking me before the game. He's like, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm nervous. I'm nervous." I'm like, "How are you feeling? Are you nervous?" And he goes, "No." He goes, "Once you have kids, your perspective changes." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, I'm kind of looking for some advice. I was like, that doesn't really help me because I'm still pretty nervous. I don't have kids. So, but I'm curious for you.
Thanks. Appreciate it,
Yeah. So I'm curious for you, with Cam, and that you have a son and everything. How has your perspective on how you approach the game, how you see the game, has it changed in any way?
Definitely. I think it's one of these situations where you have to, at least preparation wise, is a lot different. Because you have to plan a lot more in advance, because as a kid you get so engulfed in their world to where you're on their schedule, and then suddenly you're like, oh my goodness, he went down at 7:30. I haven't even eaten dinner yet. So then you have to kind of plan ahead to be in these situations where it's like, okay, we have some pre-made meals. I have to make sure that I'm eating while he's eating, or then you try to arrange the schedules a little bit. But in terms of perspective, it's going to be fun because he's kind of becoming like, he's aware of his surroundings, like, right? And then like, even he'll see pictures of me in the house and he'll say, "Dad, Dad." Yeah. And then like, at times we've seen things on TV where I'm taking a throw in and I'm looking a little disheveled and he's saying, "Dad, Dad." Or next thing you know, I'm putting some stuff, I'm spraying some stuff and he goes, "Dad, Dad." Like, so awesome. He's becoming a lot more aware. And I think it just as a parent, you enjoy that. And you're always trying to make your kids proud. And he has no clue what I do right now, but ultimately one of these days when he's old enough, you want to make him proud and have him, love what you do. I see Boniac's kids, they were literally screaming and chanting his name the last 45 minutes of our friendly against Dallas. And it was incredible. And that's everything. That's what you want to play for.
The Boniac twins. I'll never forget that. It was I think it was a gif actually of the two of them when they were real little and they like are hugging on the field.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was
everything.
That one just like killed me. And now they're now they're 7 feet tall. So, they grow up fast.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's
Enjoy
crazy.
this time.
I know. I was talking to Maxie today because Diego Valeri's daughter was the flower girl in my wedding.
Oh.
And Maxie was saying how she was 5 when we met her. And then like now she's almost a teenager and you're thinking like, what?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Like your dad's still scoring goals. And you're like, how is that possible? Oh my goodness, he's aging backwards. But yeah, it's crazy how time flies.
Oh my God. Zarek, one of the things that we admire so much about you, among many things, many of your just various attributes, is that you're always giving back. We've seen it with pretty much every team that you've been with, and it's no different in Houston. Can you tell us kind of some of the initiatives that you've been working on in Houston and what you're involved with right now?
Yeah, it's one of these things where I believe as an athlete, we have to use our platform for good. Like if people tune in to watch us banter and have a good time, at the end of the day, we should hopefully try to influence them to make their communities in the world better, right? Because people will definitely not remember me as a player. I refer to myself as like a used Toyota Camry.
Come on.
Reliable. You know what you're going to expect. The car just kind of keeps going. But listen, we want to make a lasting impression on the community and the people around us, right? And that's ultimately what's going to, move everything forward. To impact the youth. I've done a lot of stuff with MD Anderson down here, one of our main sponsors on our jersey, just kind of working with some of the cancer patients, and that to me is bigger than almost anything I'm going to do on the field. I'd love to win a championship with the club and help bring that back to the city, but to positively impact the lives of kids who are fighting a tougher struggle than us. Me is everything. And thankfully we were able to do some stuff with the power outages. When Christian Ramirez texted me in memo, then I started reaching out to some of the players in the Dash, and Jane was a national team camp. We reeled her in because she has an incredible platform as well. And to be able to impact the youth in Houston in terms of just the food supply. So we got a lot of food towards the Houston Food Bank. We donated $15,000 to them, as well as raised $15,000 towards kids meals, who help give meals to families underneath the poverty line, right? So they're trying to pay bills and just stay afloat. And if they don't have to worry about, making sure their kid, has a full belly, that's just one less thing off their plate. So they lost their entire supply of food through the 4 days without power. And with our help with the Dynamo and the Dash, we're able to replenish their entire stock.
That's awesome.
So that's for me bigger than, potentially any goal I could score. And I've been fortunate enough to be surrounded by some incredible people that have helped me in some of my causes. My wife is my biggest supporter in that. And with Val and Crystal and my time in Portland, it's just been, incredible the support that they have and the resources and the relationships that they have. So there's some stuff that we're cooking up in the pipeline. I've talked to some Dash players who want to really do some things together, which will be a lot of fun. So nothing to report on just yet, but let's check back during summer, and hopefully the MLS community can keep supporting each other and pushing just the game and pushing our cities and our communities together.
That's awesome. You're a real one, man.
We love that. Listen, don't sell. You're more than a Camry, though. Listen, there's a reason that car's been around for so long and so
there
reliable.
we go. Look, it's still there.
Listen,
Mr. Reliable.
Bro, you played over a decade of professional soccer. I think you're doing okay. You know what I'm saying? And you're still going. So, but listen, what you do on the field speaks for itself. What you do off the field is even bigger. So I know all of us appreciate that and support you and keep rolling with that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Amen. This was so much fun, Zarek. Thank you. This felt like group chat IRL, like we're like, right?
Yeah. I like that. See, like there it is. See, it's perfect. This is how these conversations should hopefully be. Having fun, kind of rearing off a little bit, but then you have Stephen Keel just to kind of bring it back in a little bit.
That's usually never my role. My role is I usually am like taking this, like, let's go out to right field and then do like 20 backflips past that. But here I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep us back a little bit.
Keep us in check.
We did an Instagram thing last year at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where we figured out the kid thing. And that was something where we had an intention, we had a path. And then it just kind of just went.
Yeah.
And we just kind of went.
And next thing you know, you're like, whoa, I'm way off screen.
This is perfect, though. This is great. I hope you guys continue to do this. I think it'll be great for the fans to interact with players and to kind of get them to know more on a personal level, right? Because whenever you ask interviews, it's, you could have said, how's the game going to be? I was, well, Kansas City, they high press, there's a lot of energy, but you said we're really out there going and playing hard. Wando scored a lot of goals, so we have to watch out for it. Like, everyone's going to give you that same response. It's good that you're asking things that are a little bit different, right? Because these are such rehearsed answers at this point. So hopefully you can see some personality from people.
Amen. Well, you brought it in spades, Zarek. You are one of our faves. Such a good dude, and this was so much fun. Best of luck this season. Best of luck Friday night against San Jose. We're so excited to see you back in action, my friend.
Thank you guys very much. It'll be a fun one. Make sure to check it out. And then there's a great slate of games this whole week. So hopefully we can start it off with the old W here in Houston, and then we'll see what happens in the rest of the league.
Let's go. Thanks so much, Zarek. Well, Steven, throughout 2021, MLS and AT&T will partner together to connect fans to their favorite players' real stories, the stories on who and what moments that inspired them to become the professional athletes that they are today. So our first connection of the season is Atlanta's Brad Guzan. Let's hear it.
Hi, I'm Brad Guzan, goalkeeper. I play professional soccer for Atlanta United and the U.S. men's national team. My earliest memory of being involved in the game is when I was 3 or 4 years old. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, and being the youngest, I was dragged around to their games and youth games. At one point, I basically said, I want to be out there, I want to play. The player that I use as a role model for my game is Oliver Kahn. I remember rushing home from school when the Champions League games were on, and I'd be running through the door. He played for Bayern Munich, who during that time period was unbelievable in Champions League. To watch how he played the game in terms of his bravery, his desire, was something that intrigued me. I want my legacy to be that I was a good teammate, I was a competitor on the field, somebody that gave everything every time he stepped on the field. Being able to represent your country at the highest level comes with a lot of responsibility. But to get to that level, you have to do a lot of dirty work, a lot of hard work, a lot of grinding, and you need to have that determination. And so to have my legacy would certainly be that I was a competitor, a good teammate, and someone that my teammates could count on.
Aw, don't you? That was great stuff from Brad Guzan. He was so chill with his like arm up on the sofa, just like story time. Like, pull up a chair. Let's chat.
Let me tell you how I fell in love with the game of soccer.
How did you fall in love with the game of soccer, Stephen Keel?
Great question. You know, my earliest memory is when I was about 3 or 4, similar to the age of Brad. I remember just going in my backyard, just playing soccer by myself. I'd come in to get water. My mom reminds me that I would be like just drenched in sweat, out of breath, and she'd be like, you know, how's it going out there? And I'd be like, oh, I'm losing. It's halftime. I gotta get some water. I gotta go back out there the second half. And she's like, you are playing against yourself, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm still losing them.
It's really intense.
So, but it was just, you know, and then I would go back out and somehow I'd win the game. But I just remember being in the backyard for hours playing. I had an older brother who was 3 years older, and similar to Brad, just followed him around, wanted to interact with him, and he played soccer, so I'd always just jump in his sessions. And that's kind of how it all started.
That's precious. That's really, really, really precious. Mine was a boy. Mine was a boy. First grade, Zach Iliopoulos. He would play soccer at recess, and he was like on like a traveling soccer team. And I was like, how do I get this boy to notice me? So maybe I should play soccer too. And so yeah, it was literally like little boy crazy Susannah. And I was like, I'm going to play soccer too. And then I ended up, you know, then you just loved it. But that's where it started for me. So that was my origin story. Thank you. I don't think I've ever shared that, but
that is fun.
Now it's out there. Zach Iliopoulos. Thank you.
Well, look at you now, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We want to hear from you guys. What was your first connection to soccer? Tweet us, get on that group chat hotline, text us, let us know. We want to hear about your soccer journey and your origins and how you fell in love with the beautiful game, because it is just that. It's beautiful. We love these stories. Okay. Back to some games this weekend. We've got some big ones because MLS is back. We talked about the games that are going on tonight, but this coming weekend on Saturday, 2 incredible matchups. We have Orlando, Atlanta, that game at Saturday, 3 p.m. on Urimas, Judiene, and Twitter, and then followed up at 6 p.m. on Fox and Fox Deportes and TSN in Canada. LAFC taking on Austin. That is going to be so much fun. We're so excited about that. And then on Sunday, baby, it's the David Beckham Bowl. This is what I'm calling it. We've got Miami taking on the LA Galaxy. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern on ABC, ESPN Deportes, and TSN. So much to look forward to, Stephen Keel. Oh my gosh, I'm ready. I have been ready, and right now it's just like, you know, I'm just tempering my excitement. We have games to watch.
We're there. I know what I'm doing tonight. That's great. I know my show that I'm watching tonight, my games that I'm watching tonight. Couldn't be more excited. Susan, I couldn't be more excited to do this with you. This has been so cool.
How fun is this show? I you know, this legit feels like a group chat, and it just feels like I get to like hang out with my buddy Stephen Keel and talk some fun soccer stuff. It's been great. We hope you guys like it too, because guess what? We're gonna be back every darn week. Every Friday. So you can join us for the group chat. Get involved. Again, hit us up on that hotline. Tweet at us. But most importantly, y'all, enjoy the soccer this weekend. MLS is back, baby. Steven, so great to hang with you, my friend. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you real soon. Let's go! MLS is back!
Soccer!